Questions over why South African soldiers raised a white flag in Democratic Republic of Congo as the death toll rises.
The minister must give us a report on this suicidal mission that's been backed on.
Her social media comments coming back to haunt her. Duduzile Zumas heads to court for her role in the July riots. And destroy and burn. Thousands suffer after Putco's 150 million rand bus arson. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Former President Jacob Zuma's daughter, Duduzile Zumas is expected to appear before the Durban Magistrates Court on Thursday. That's for her alleged involvement in the July unrest in 2021. The Human Rights Commission launched an investigation following extensive damage to businesses in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. Zumas was not arrested in a mass operation by the Hawks in 2022.
The wheels of justice grind slowly, and almost 4 years later, it appears Duduzile Zumas will be called to answer for her alleged involvement in the events that rocked the nation in 2021. In July 2021, the country was engulfed by violent protests and looting following the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma. The former head of state was arrested for contempt of court and handed a 15-month sentence after he defied an order of the Constitutional Court that he appear before the State Capture Commission. His daughter, a staunch supporter of the former president, was vocal of her support for her father during the almost 2 months of his incarceration. The MK party has called on its members to rally behind the member in support. Zoleka Kodashe, Eyewitness News.
The National Defence Force has expressed concern over what it's called misleading claims that its members have surrendered in Goma in Democratic Republic of Congo. This is a video that has been circulating on social media showing South African soldiers waving a white flag.
That flag was not a flag of surrender. It was a flag to indicate that this is where we are based, so there should not be any attacks towards that base.
4 more South African soldiers have died, taking the number to 13. More details have emerged surrounding the attack in the eastern city of Goma. The SANDF says 3 soldiers died following an exchange of fire between the Congolese Defence Force and M23 rebels yesterday. The 4th soldier couldn't be evacuated in time after being attacked last week. The fighting has intensified a humanitarian crisis, displacing more than 400,000 people since the start of this year.
The minister must give us a report on this suicidal mission that's been backed on. Because part of now that we are reported 13 have been killed, but there's many more that are injured.
Action SA has accused Defence Minister Angie Motshekga of splurging on official travels while South African soldiers are under-resourced.
Our soldiers were sent to fight a fierce insurgency without the basic resources to protect themselves. They died waiting for ammunition that never arrived, while the minister flew in comfort. This is not just negligence, it is betrayal.
A suspect has been arrested after being found with guns, drugs, stun grenades and several rounds of ammunition in the Phoenix area north of Durban. Police are currently working on the active crime scene. Putco bus operator estimates that the damages caused to its fleet after 4 Mpumalanga depots were set alight currently sits at 150 million rand. Last night, a group of assailants ambushed security guards in the Moloto depot before moving to the other 3 depots and setting buses alight. A damage assessment shows that 50 buses and service vehicles have been burnt. More than 3,000 commuters have been affected by the attack. An investigation is now underway.
So to us, it was just a deliberate effort to disrupt the transport services of that particular entity, which that is why we say we strongly condemn that. And we don't also want to labor much on speculations, but we want to support the investigation that is being undertaken.
Alleged underworld gang boss Nafis Modu's co-accused Zane Killian has denied pinging slain top cop Charles Kinnear on the day of his murder. Killian, along with Modu and 13 others, face 122 charges relating to various crimes, including the murder of Kinnear. Kinnear, who was investigating Modu at the time, was shot dead outside his Bishop Lavis home in September 2020.
Zane Killian started his testimony by telling the court he would never participate in activities to harm anyone. He is accused of using a cell phone tracking application to ping the whereabouts of certain targets on behalf of Modak. Killian told the court he was in the business of debt collection and vehicle repossession, and he was assured the tracking service was legal. The state previously produced evidence to show Killian pinged top cop Schalkenier more than 600 times on the day he was murdered in September 2020. Killian told the court he suspected other people had access to the profile he was using on the pinging application. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
The DA has recommitted to the government of national unity, but the party has warned it'll no longer tolerate being, quote, mere spectators to the ANC. The DA says the GNU statement of intent requires all parties to be consulted on any matters, including previously passed bills. The DA has accused the ANC and President Cyril Ramaphosa of ignoring it and other parties in the GNU when it comes to the signing of bills, like the Bella and Expropriations Act.
This is a new government. It's not the same government that's picked up the reins from the last election and carrying on. The voters of South Africa in the last election took the ANC's majority away from them. The seventh administration is a coalition government. And so you can't just simply carry on governing as if the election last year didn't happen.
So far, 4 parties in the GNU have expressed unhappiness with the signing of the expropriation bill: the DA, Freedom Front Plus, IFP and Patriotic Alliance. Steenhuisen and the President will meet on this tonight. The Airports Company of South Africa has recorded a 400 million rand profit in the 2023-24 financial period. This is the first profit the state-owned entity recorded post-COVID-19, despite a number of issues, more specifically the recent jet fuel shortage. The profit is the first since 2019. ACSA CEO Mpumi Mpofu admits ACSA is battling infrastructure woes, something they are addressing with a major capital program over the next 5 years.
21 billion over the next 5 years, of which 70%, about 14 billion, is going to be spent on maintenance.
In the US, the new administration has fired more than a dozen Justice Department lawyers who worked on 2 criminal cases against President Donald Trump. The lawyers were part of a legal team which investigated Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents. They also worked on his attempt to overturn his 2020 election defeat. The lawyers were fired after Acting Attorney General James Henry concluded they could not be, quote, trusted to faithfully implement the president's agenda. Trump and his team have accused the Justice Department of pursuing politically motivated cases against him, his associates, and Republicans. And I shall see you for more again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.